everyone. Thank you for coming by and looking at our latest edition of interviews with authors from our current issue of the COABE Journal, Lessons from the Pandemic, COVID-19, volume 11, issue 2 for the fall of 2022. And I have two of the authors of an article called California's Adult Education Pandemic Pivot. I have Carolyn Zachry and Cory Rayala here with us, and great article. An article that I've read before and recently read again before the interviews. This is great information from these articles from this lessons from the pandemic. We have really seen what was going on out there and how we were doing these great pivots to meet those challenges. So let's kick it off here. I'd like to start by just asking the authors to introduce themselves.
All right, I'll go ahead and start. Thank you, Michael. I'm Carolyn Zachry, and I'm the State Director and Education Administrator for Adult Education here in California, and we are housed at the California Department of Education.
And I'm Cory Rayala. I'm an Education Programs Consultant in the Adult Education Office at the CDE. And we're in the Sacramento area.
Great, thank you, and thank you so much for being here. Why did you write this article for the COABE Journal?
So we wrote this article. I actually saw the call for articles and sent Cory an email and said, "Hey, let's do this." He's a brand new doctorate. Is his doctorate, and so so I said this will be great for you to be a co-author on this, and I really wanted him to be the lead author, but he didn't quite take that. But what we did was I really felt like California did an amazing job of pivoting very quickly when the pandemic hit on March 13th, when we called what we call our state leadership projects together to really look at how we can move from in-person to online instruction. And so bringing all of our state leadership projects, those are our contracts that we have out using our WIOA AFLA funds, our state leadership dollars, bringing all of those folks together via a phone conference. We would never do that now. We would only do Zoom. And so it was just really interesting to pull them all together. And it was bringing everyone back together to think through what we had gone through, what the process was that we laid out starting on that Friday, March 13th. So Cory, you want to add anything?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly the way I see it. It was an opportunity for us to document our accomplishments. It's tough when you go through something traumatic. The whole world went through this traumatic experience in the pandemic, and you don't even realize your accomplishments. And so it takes sitting down and talking to folks about it and say, what did we actually accomplish, and writing it up and saying we should be proud of that, and there's some lessons we can learn from it.
That's great. How will adult education practitioners benefit from reading your article? And then how will that benefit, carry on to the learners?
I'll kick it off, Carolyn. The way I see it is that we're a very large and diverse state. And because of that, there are so many different ways that people approached the pandemic. And what we did is we gave as many resources as we could that agencies could make use of. And so I hope what people get from this is a whole laundry list of possible resources and strategies that they can be prepared for the next emergency.
And I'll add on to that when we got together on March 13th, our first, obviously our focus is always students first. However, on that day, our focus was instructors first. What do we need to do to ensure that our instructors can move to an online environment and then bring their students in with them? And after we've gone through, obviously we're still in the pandemic, but after went through all of those initial stages, and about a year later, we looked at developing, and it's now published, our California Adult Education Digital Learning Guidance. And this is for practitioners in the field to use while they are perhaps developing a hybrid course or an online course. It gives them the resources directly from teachers as to how to do that. So for us, really the end result of all of this is that we've developed something that we think is a state-of-the-art guide to help the adult education field, which will ultimately then help our students succeed and meet their goals.
And this guide was developed because of the lessons that were learned from the pandemic?
Yes.
Okay.
It was from those lessons, and then taking it a step further, we worked with ISTE to help to look at all of the standards and really ensure that we were providing a well-rounded learning guide for adult education instructors, as well as administrators, on how do you implement online, hybrid, high flex instruction in your school or within your classroom.
And this is available now?
It is available now.
Okay, great. Making a note of it. Thank you. So what do you hope the readers will take away from the article?
I would hope that what they'll take away from the article is that no matter the size of your state, the complexity of your state, or the diversity of your adult education program, that what we've learned in the pandemic is that we can make changes, that our students can learn online, and that it'll open up more avenues for students through the use of technology, so that those students that had barriers before, when we were only in person, can now attend adult education programs, earn their perhaps high school diploma, feel confident in their English, and be able to reach those goals that they have, whether it's to get a job, to help their child in school, to just be able to communicate in a public setting, that it doesn't really matter where you are, you can learn.
I really love the silver linings that came out of this experience and that we highlight in the article. It's kind of through the technology and the remote testing and the remote instruction and the remote professional development, we've just been able to reach so many more folks. We had some webinars with like 500 teachers on it. Just being able to have that kind of reach was really great. And then, of course, we can, in some cases, we can reach more students if they've got issues with getting to the school. And then the other thing I love is being able to communicate better with national partners. I mean, for example, COABE and other states. This use of this technology, as Carolyn mentioned, when we first started, it was a conference call with traditional phones. And now we're doing this type of thing all the time and being able to really communicate and collaborate with national partners. So some great silver linings that came from this.
It's great. It's great. It just sounds like so much was learned, and now there's so much benefit from it. Really, if there's any additional comments that you would like to share with us, your article, as many are, I'm sure, are going to come and read this journal, like our others.
I'll just say that I'm excited for folks to read it, and I'm excited to read what other states have done. The more we can share ideas, the better, and the better we'll be prepared for the next health crisis.
I agree with Cory on that, and I also think that, as these silver linings Cory mentioned, this is here to stay. Remote testing is here today. Remote instruction stay. And that's the new world that we're in. And I hope that individuals, as they read the article, will see the benefits for their programs, their states, and their students.
Thank you. Thank you so much. The article, California's Adult Education Pandemic Pivot. Thank you so much, Dr. Zachry and Dr. Rayala, for joining me here today and taking the time for this great interview and sharing your expertise here with us and on the COABE Journal. Thank you so much today.